It started as a joke. At least that's what everyone thought. The loud laughter, the smirks, the whispered bets in the corner, all of it was supposed to be harmless fun. A seasoned black belt martial artist had just challenged a woman he'd never met before to fight in front of the entire gym. Why? Because she was standing on the sidelines, watching her son train, and he thought it would be funny to show the rookie her place. Nobody expected her to say yes, and nobody, not even the black belt himself, could have predicted what happened when she stepped onto that mat. It was a Saturday afternoon, and the gym was buzzing with energy. The sound of gloves smacking against pads, the sharp calls of the instructors, and the smell of sweat created the usual backdrop for weekend sparring sessions. Among the crowd of parents and students, a woman named Mariah sat quietly on the bleachers. She wasn't there to fight. She was there to support her 10-year-old son, Darius, who had just joined the beginner's martial arts class 2 weeks ago. Mariah didn't look like the type to be in the spotlight. She wore a simple sweatshirt, jeans and sneakers, her hair tied back in a loose bun. But her calm presence and watchful eyes said she was taking in every detail of the training. Some noticed her nodding softly whenever Darius landed a good kick, as if she was studying the rhythm of the class. That's when Marcus, one of the gym's most confident and cocky black belts, spotted her. Marcus was known for his skill, yes, but also for his love of attention. If there was a crowd, he wanted to be at the center of it. And that day, he thought it would be amusing to put the quiet mom in the spotlight. "Hey," he called out, walking over to where Maria sat. "You've been watching a lot today. How about you step up and try?" His grin was wide, but his tone carried a playful mockery that made a few of the other students chuckle. Maria blinked in surprise. "Oh, I'm just here to watch my son," she replied politely. "That's exactly why you should try," Marcus said, his voice loud enough for everyone to hear. "Come on, we'll take it easy on you, unless you're scared." That word, scared, made the air shift. People looked over. Whispers started. Maria glanced at her son, who was watching with wide, anxious eyes. She saw the mixture of worry and hope on his face. And then, almost too quietly to notice, she stood up. "I'll do it," she said. The room froze for a second. Marcus laughed, clearly thinking she was bluffing. "All right then," he said, motioning her toward the mat. "Let's give everyone a show." Mariah slipped off her sweatshirt, revealing a fitted sports top. The moment she stepped barefoot onto the mat, something changed. Her posture was straight, her movements controlled. Darius' eyes widened. He'd never seen his mother move like that. The others were starting to suspect. Maybe this wouldn't be the easy laugh they were expecting. The black belt's smirk didn't fade as the two faced off, but his eyes were curious now. The instructor signaled for them to begin. And Marcus took the first move, a quick, playful jab, the kind you'd use when you didn't really see your opponent as a threat. But Mariah didn't flinch. She stepped lightly to the side, her hands already up in a defensive stance that looked practiced. Another jab. This time, she blocked. Not with hesitation, but with precision. A few people in the crowd exchanged glances. Marcus' playful grin wavered. "Nice reflexes," he said under his breath, and went for a faster combination. Left hook blocked. Right cross slipped past her, and then, with a speed no one expected, Mariah pivoted and countered with a clean, sharp strike to his midsection. It wasn't brutal, but it was enough to make him step back in surprise. The crowd murmured. Darius' jaw dropped. Marcus tried to regain his rhythm, attacking harder this time. But the harder he came at her, the calmer she seemed to get. Her footwork was smooth, her breathing steady. And then it hit him. This wasn't her first time on a mat. Not even close. By now the laughter in the gym had died completely. Everyone was watching in silence, eyes locked on the unexpected match unfolding before them. Mariah ducked under a high kick, spun, and landed a quick tap to Marcus's shoulder. Point scored. "Where did you learn that?" he asked, breathless between moves. Maria didn't answer. She just kept moving, her eyes sharp, focused, not on hurting him, but on outclassing him. It was as if every move she made was a reminder strength doesn't need to shout. When the final bell rang, Marcus stood there, panting, sweat dripping down his forehead. "Maria?" She was barely winded. The instructor stepped forward, raising her hand. The gym was silent for a moment and then erupted in cheers. Not the kind of cheers you give for a winner who simply outpowers someone, but the kind you give when someone has just rewritten the story you thought you knew. Darius ran up to her, hugging her tightly. "Mom, you never told me you could do that." Mariah smiled and kissed his forehead. "Sometimes," she said softly, "you don't have to tell people what you can do. You just show them when it matters." Marcus extended his hand, still catching his breath. "I guess I owe you an apology and maybe a rematch." Maria shook his hand. "Maybe. But next time, you better come ready." The lesson that day went far beyond the mat. It wasn't about winning or losing. It was about respect, humility, and the quiet power of those we underestimate. And as everyone left the gym, the story was already being retold, each version ending the same way. She silenced the whole room.